energy from the sun. Some of this energy is captured and recycled by plants and animals. Wetlands provide living things a place to live, grow, and reproduce. One significant type of wetland is the vernal pond, also known as vernal pool or spring pool. Vernal ponds are extremely important wildlife habitat. They act as energy recycling centers that allow nutrients to return to the forest ecosystem. Small, shallow, fresh water. Vernal ponds are filled with rainfall and snowmelt. These ponds usually dry up in the summer. Because they are temporary, they are fishless, which gives them a unique ecology. Vernal pond activity signals the beginning of spring. During the first warm, rainy nights of late March and early April, spotted salamanders emerge from their winter homes and move to vernal ponds to breed, sometimes traveling as much as a quarter mile. Because vernal ponds have no fish, these amphibians, their eggs and larvae are safe from fish predation. Spotted salamanders are required or obligated to breed in vernal ponds. They can breed nowhere else. They are obligate species. This is the breeding activity of the spotted salamander. Males deposit small white packets of sperm onto sunken leaves. These spermatophores look like breadcrumbs at the bottom of the pool. The female walks over the spermatophore, picking it up with her cloaca, an opening at the base of the tail. In this way, the eggs are fertilized. After a day or two, she will attach her eggs to a submerged branch or twig. Round embryos indicate that this egg mass is in an early stage of development. Nearly ready to hatch, these embryos are moving inside the egg. In 4 to 8 weeks, they will emerge from the egg mass. Spotted salamanders spend their larval stage underwater, breathing through feathery gills on their necks. By summer, when ponds are nearly dry, the larvae change or metamorphose. Now, with fully developed lungs, this new adult, only 2 inches long, is ready to leave the pond and make its home in the forest. The quacking sound of the male wood frog, also an obligate species, attracts a female for breeding in early spring. The male crawls onto the female's back and fertilizes the eggs as she lays them. These are wood frog egg masses. Totally dependent on vernal ponds, the aquatic fairy shrimp is an obligate species. These back-swimming crustaceans grow to 1.5 inches in length. They are an important food source for larger animals in the pond. Before the pond dries, those fairy shrimp that survive predation will lay their eggs. When the pool fills again, the eggs will hatch. Obligate species, spotted salamanders, wood frogs, and fairy shrimp are required to spend all or part of their life cycle in vernal ponds. Many other kinds of animals and plants, though not obligated, make use of vernal pond habitat. Buttonbush is common in vernal ponds. The sweet blossoms are the favorites of butterflies and other insects. Arrowhead, also known as duck potato, produces starchy tubers eaten by ducks and muskrats. Blue flag, high bush blueberry, flower, and fruit. Meadowsweet, St. John's wort, swamp loosestrife, sweet pepperbush, swamp rose, winterberry, swamp candle. While not restricted to vernal ponds, many kinds of animals live, breed, and eat in them. Microscopic creatures feed on plants and decaying leaf litter, and each other. Copepods are among the many kinds of animal life which become food for larger animals in the pond. The caddisfly larva, an important vernal pond insect, constructs a protective case of spun silk, which it covers with materials from the pond. In late spring, it will emerge as an adult, resembling a small brown moth. Other insects share the pond with the caddisfly. The aquatic dragonfly larva will climb out of the pond, emerge from its skin, and become an adult dragonfly. Dragonflies often patrol the area to feed on other insects that hatch out of the pond. The predaceous diving beetle larva, or water tiger, is a voracious vernal pond feeder. They will eat tadpoles when they can catch them. The adult predaceous diving beetle. This giant water bug is over 2 inches long. Whirligig beetles, damselfly. A sawfly larva feeds on buttonbush. Monarch butterfly. Leech. Some kinds of leeches require a fishless habitat. The mating call of the male spring peeper can be heard from half a mile. This tiny frog is a frequent vernal pond breeder, but they also breed in other wetlands. American toad. Toads lay eggs in long strands. Some tadpoles survive to become adult toads. Most are eaten by other animals. Green frog. Bullfrogs feed on any available small animals, including insects, salamanders, frogs, even mice. Pickerel frog. Gray tree frog. Red-spotted newt. Because of declining populations in Massachusetts, the spotted turtle is listed as a species of special concern. The garter snake is a frequent vernal pond visitor that benefits from abundant frog populations. It may become prey for other animals. including the milk snake. Vernal pools are way stations for many migratory birds, offering food and nesting sites. A wood duck and a pair of mallards. This glossy ibis feeds on insects and amphibians. Great egret. An otter uses this vernal pond as a temporary residence, where it finds plenty of small animals for food. Summer is nearly over and the pond has dried. This fox may be searching for any available food: reptiles, small mammals, birds, even insects and berries. The fox is one of the pond's top predators. Vernal ponds are hotspots of forest activity, and they provide an enormous amount of food for wildlife. This is an example of a vernal pond habitat food chain. It begins with the sun's energy, which is converted by plants into food. Fallen leaves are the major source of energy in the pool. Tadpoles feed on this decaying leaf litter and grow into frogs. The adult frog becomes a meal for the garter snake. And snakes are among the many kinds of animals that foxes eat. This food chain is only a small part of the complex web of life that vernal ponds help to sustain. People are beginning to recognize vernal ponds as vital wildlife habitat, and conservation efforts are underway. Much of this work is being carried out by volunteer student groups and neighborhood partnerships. We have seen only some of the diverse plant and animal life that make use of this habitat. Some animals are totally dependent. If we value wildlife, we must protect vernal ponds.